Hey guys, happy Thursday. Welcome in. Today I will be doing the highly requested psychic energy reading for George Farmer. This would be Candace's husband. To be honest, I probably should have done a little more research before starting. As you guys know, I am not the psychic who avoids any research. I guess let's just touch on that really quickly. I know some readers don't want to watch other readers. They don't want to do research. They don't want to know anything about certain information. They want like a blank slate. And I get that. There are times where I have taken that approach to the readings, but then there are times when just knowing information is unavoidable. And sometimes having information, especially with what I do, right? I'm not just communicating. Well, this is tricky. I guess with the cards, I would say it's a little different than just like if I were meditating or praying or asking spirit for information and I feel like intuitively I just get a download. Those are different than actually like interpreting energy presenting in the cards. So for what I do, sometimes having information or looking into things where there is information that you can bring into the reading with you will help you identify the energy presented. So like in some cases, like for example with Amy Bradley, with this happening so long ago and there being so much information that was available with like the documentary and things like that, it's like, okay, if I see the energy, I want to know where spirit is pointing us. Like if this is showing this type of energy, where in the information that we have is this going to fit the best, and then digging into that, right? Like for example, just knowing that she was in the Caribbean islands, if we had no knowledge, oh, just some girl on a cruise ship, and we didn't know the information, you know, it wouldn't have taken me into certain areas where I was able to see clear and hone in on that energy. That's just one example. I know some readers don't like to have information. I kind of go both ways on that. I don't know. So I say all that because there will be times where I will look into information before I sit down and read on it, just to say, okay, where's this person from? How long have they been married? How did they meet? I know a little bit of that. I know Candace ended up meeting George Farmer in the UK at a Turning Point event. I think they were married like very, very soon after, I don't know, like maybe weeks, 6 weeks, a couple months. They met, they were engaged. It all happened really quickly. I believe she was married in 2019. I know he's from the UK. I only know that he's of some sort of like royal bloodline lord. I don't even really know the correct terminology, but I only know that from your guys' comments about him. I know there's speculation that he could be a handler. Candace mentions it also. She says, I'm so glad I met my husband when I did, because I believe in, I think she said 2018 or 2019 was when we were assigned handlers. This is the time he met Erica, she met George. So that's kind of what we're reading. Is their marriage real? Is he a handler? What is the energy around their marriage? Can he be trusted? All those things. Ironically, yesterday, I've been wanting to read on George for a while now. You guys have requested it for a minute, and yesterday, so my dad is calling. Poor guy's retired and he is just so bored. Yesterday we were reading on more of like global energy, asking Charlie what he knew, what he was so concerned about, what could be coming. He brought in the UK very strongly, the royal family, things happening in Europe, Spain, France, Italy, all of those energies were touched on. But an emphasis again on the UK. So I believe it just makes sense to naturally move into George Farmer and see what that energy is about, since he's from the UK. We may Google some information about him. Like, I don't know if he's an only child. I don't know why they decided to move here. I know he's now a US citizen. But like, I wonder how he got involved with Turning Point USA. I don't even know what his actual title was there, who his family is. So there's a lot of holes still, but let's just do an overall reading to see what the energy looks like. If it looks nefarious or dark, or if it looks very organic and divinely orchestrated. Because just as much as there is evil, we do still serve a God who is all powerful. So as much as the enemy can be working, God can also be working. God can bring in people to disrupt the enemy's plans. George Farmer could be placed in Candace's life divinely. It could have been orchestrated from the dark. Both things could be true. Same thing could have been true for Erica. Maybe Charlie could have been assigned a handler and she came in to save him. We know that's not the case with her. We've seen it in the energy time and time again. We're not the only ones feeling it. That I don't believe was divinely orchestrated, unfortunately for Charlie, but I won't say that that's off the table for Candace because I haven't looked at it. So we will find out together kind of where we're going with that. And yeah, somebody had commented, like if Candace, if her husband is worth so much money and she has so much money and she has kids, why is she out here on YouTube trying to make more money? Or I guess that's just kind of how I read the comment. Like, what is she doing this for? I will say some people do things because it's their sole purpose. They have a mission. If they want to make a difference in the world, it doesn't have to always be for the dark. Some people are highly favored, protected by God, and on a mission to help uplift and enlighten the world. It doesn't matter how much money you have, what circles you come from. If that is your mission on earth, it doesn't matter if you're rich and successful and can just go live a comfortable life. If that's not why you are brought here, that's not what you're going to do. If Candace's sole mission is to have the platform she does, to be a voice, to bring situational awarenesses, regardless which side it's on, it's your sole contract regardless, right? That's why she would be here. If she's passionate about it, if she has a purpose, it doesn't have anything to do with the money. Erica, the same thing. If her soul's purpose and mission was to take over Turning Point and be a catalyst for whatever is going to happen in the world, it doesn't matter that she has money or connections or inherited a lot of money to just hand over the role of CEO to be a housewife. If that isn't what she's brought here to do, that's not what she's going to do. If that's not what makes her happy, if that's not her passion, I mean, I can't understand the logic of, like, if you have the money to sit at home and just be pampered, why wouldn't you? Because that is not why God has us here, to just say, oh, you're wealthy, you're comfortable, sit at home and be quiet. Like, our goal and our purpose on this earth, taking human form, is not to just be fat and happy, to be rich and quiet. We all should be out there trying to make a difference. I believe Candace is trying to make a difference. I as of now, my discernment, my gut tells me that she is a warrior of light. If anything changes and I've been deceived or misled, I will gladly let you guys know that I got it wrong. But as of right now, I look at her and I hear her voice and I listen to her words and I watch her body language and I feel truth. I feel light. I don't feel put off. I don't care how much money she's making around what happened to Charlie, because in my heart of hearts, I feel like she would do it for nothing. The fact that she's making money is a blessing for her. Like, to me, it's like, what? I guess that's a whole nother tangent. People are upset that she is going viral and she's at the top of the podcast list and she's going to be making a ton of money, and she is making a ton of money, and she's already super wealthy. That has nothing to do with her loyalty to Charlie and finding out the truth. Because I believe in my heart of hearts she would do it if they demonetized her, if she made nothing, if all her ads were canceled, she would do it without the money. But I'm glad she's making the money, because how unfair would that be that she's the only voice and person willing to stand up to the narrative that we've been given, and then for her also to be the only one not to profit from it would be absolutely horrific in terms of like karma and balancing of good and evil. She deserves that money. She's intelligent. She's fighting. She's brave. She's honest. She's digging. Praise God, she's making money. Praise God, she's in a position to further her staff, her protection, her security, her children's well-being. All of those things should be a blessing, and we should all want that for people who are operating in the light. Like she said in one of her recent videos, Turning Point literally sold the shirt that Charlie was killed in for profits. Erica sent out flyers with her name on it, begging for donations to Turning Point the same week that Charlie was killed. Donations flooded in before we even seen what was really going on behind the scenes of Turning Point. And for her to just come on and be the voice for Charlie and to be making money off that, everybody's up in arms about it. It's insane. I can't subscribe to that. I don't resonate with that. If anyone who questions the fact that she's making money on speaking about Charlie and you're not happy for her, maybe you should be taking a look in the mirror and asking yourself why that makes you uncomfortable. Unless, of course, your intuition tells you she's operating in the dark and she's lying and she's deceitful, then go with that. Always trust your gut. Don't listen to anybody else's opinions. Always trust your own gut. My gut, as of right now, tells me that she's a warrior of the light. And so, for now, what I've seen, I feel she can be trusted. So that's just where I'm going to leave that. I don't know about her husband. This will be very interesting to find out, and you guys will be here in real time with me as I form my opinion about George Farmer. It is also ironic, the name Farmer, since we've been getting a lot of those references around food, agriculture, farming, farm animals. All right, Holy Spirit, guide this reading. Protect me and my viewers. Allow me the discernment to read the energy appropriately. Show me George Farmer, his intentions with Candace, and a little bit of energetic insight into their marriage. What is it that you want the collective to know about George and Candace? I wonder who Candace is going to be if she does join Turning Point's live Q&A that they invited her to. I wonder who's going to be answering those questions. If Erica is going to be there, if this is going to be like an Andrew Colvett type of situation. I feel like he has the softest face, if that makes sense. He has the softest presence. I know that sounds weird, but you know, he's good looking, he's soft spoken, he's professional. He takes up the right amount of space. His face is structured to be semi-trustworthy. The guy who spoke yesterday, whoever that was, don't care for him. I know Candace doesn't get bad feelings about him, but he just, not somebody I want to look at. Erica just, when she opens her mouth, drives me nuts. I don't think she would be able to do a Q&A and not make the entire company look terrible. I think it would probably be Andrew answering the questions, maybe Andrew and Mikey together. I wonder what that's going to look like. That'll be interesting. All right, Holy Spirit, tell us a little bit about George Farmer and Candace Owens, their marriage, the intentions, any energy you want us to know about. The world. Ironically, on this photo of the world, it looks like it's highlighting, is that Africa? Yeah, you can see Africa. You can see Spain and France and Italy, and then the other part of the world is dark. Very interesting first card, 29. Archangel Michael is here at the bottom of the deck. sorry. It is still, ooh, the Empress. The Empress just fell out of this deck. The world says expansion, opening up. The man in this picture is looking out over a bay, above which the beautiful sphere of the earth is rotating. This card is reminding you to expand your vision and contemplate some much broader options. The world is wide, so there is a lot out there to consider. Very interesting. In the modern age of technology, this could specifically be referring to creating or expanding to a more global network through the internet or social marketing. Drawing this card also lets you know that you have unlimited resources available to you, and now is the time to think big. As they say, the world is your oyster, so get ready to gobble it up. Expanding your vision, thinking bigger, having broader options. There's a lot to consider. This also talks about global networks. This also talks about gobbling something up. The world is your oyster. So like thinking bigger about who they are on a world, on a global platform. Think bigger on what could be the purpose for their union. It has much bigger, there's a much bigger purpose here. It's big. Candace and George, who she is specifically, since this flipped out, tells me her soul, whether good or bad or otherwise, has a huge purpose, a huge mission in this day and age that is global, not just local to the US. This is already starting out with massive energy. Her influence is global, thinking bigger about their union, having a broader vision. Okay, let's... The affirmation here says, my life expands into boundless horizons with unlimited, powerful energy. A world of possibilities is open to me now. Sit down. Sit. You can stay, but you need to sit. Don't just walk around up here. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, you need the cards as a pillow? The deck I was going to use? Of course you do. Of course you do. Could also be a reference here to the year 2029. We should see a new president, right? 2029, didn't Trump take office 2025? just gagged. I don't know if you guys can see that in the mirror, but I just looked at her and she like gagged. Which I know is not uncommon, but there's no coincidences in timing, so just thought I'd mention that. The 7 is back out here. The 7 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles in the world. I believe in the book, this, I guess I could show you guys up close. I know you guys like to see the imagery. Imagery is very powerful. Signs and symbols, always trust that. Who cares what the actual meaning of the card is? Somebody commented a while ago that literal meanings of cards and whatnot, and while I understand that that can be interpreted literally, I feel like as readers, you should always read the cards intuitively, regardless if you're reading about a situation that literally could involve death and you pull the death card. It doesn't mean you immediately need to read that as literal, while you can if that's what your intuition tells you, but these cards have no power. You have to look at them and read from a place of internal knowing. So if you guys see something in the imagery and it speaks to you, trust that. You don't need to know the card meanings. Sometimes just looking and feeling oftentimes is more powerful. I mean, the literal meanings obviously help give context, but I believe this card talks about a portal, which is also why I like to read the books in certain decks, because they have different perspectives that allow me to see things differently than what I would normally see in a 4 of Pentacles or what standard imagery looks like. Here we see the 7 Cups, which we were getting references to the 7 yesterday in terms of like 7 global powers. Doesn't necessarily mean countries. Could just be power, influence. This could be 7 global influencers, 7 global news stations, 7 global leaders, 7 global countries. It could be anything, right? But there's an emphasis here on this triangle and the 3 stars. The 4 at the bottom are in a square. So we have stars here. This is giving me portal energy also. So a white bird going through the portal. Somebody commented this morning, was it G7 or M7? Something about countries that get together. Let me see. The G7 is an informal forum of 7 major industrialized democratic countries. Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, and US. They meet to discuss, coordinate solutions on major global issues like economy, governance, security, climate change. Could this be the beast? So G7. Oh, when I was looking at that, just reminded me reading the comments, the Brexit, I said, Candace isn't associated with Brexit. I looked it up. It's Blexit, I believe is what she was tied to, not Brexit. So interesting that I was tying Brexit to Candace, but it's Blexit, and I think that's Black Exit. And then somebody commented,
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
And then somebody commented British exit, and then somebody else commented about the Brexit was British leaving the something. Let's look. Why are we talking about that right now? That might be significant to what I'm seeing. Yeah, short term for British exit, referring to the UK leaving the European Union. The European Union is a political and economic union of European countries that allows free trade, travel, and cooperation between the state members. In June 2016, the UK held a public vote, asking citizens whether they wanted to remain in or leave the EU. After years of negotiation, the UK officially left the EU on January 31st, 2020. Brexit affected areas such as trade, immigration, travel, jobs, and laws, since the UK no longer follows the European Union rules. So what does that mean? For the UK, I'll do more research on that. I don't want to waste your guys' time, but I looked over at this card right here. I don't know if this is my eyes playing tricks on me with the plaid or if that card is actually vibrating. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to move this and then look at this plaid. Okay, when I'm looking at it through the camera. Okay, so that must be my eyes. But that card over there, from my vision, is like shaking. So I'm going to see what this card is. I'm going to show you the back of this. I don't know if it looks like... You guys see how it could look like this card is like vibrating? Hermit. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple tea leaves for the Seven of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. Angel. Protection from harm. Let's look at Four of Pentacles. Astral House. Career. Spiritually guided, protected from harm. Career. I mean, she is a global influence. I know we're talking about George here, but what did he do for work before? She was definitely spiritually guided into her platform, her career, what she is doing on a global scale, showing here divinely guided. There's an angel here. We'll keep an open mind and keep reading, but let's see. I think we're going to get an archetype for that world card. I mean, that's such big energy. I kind of want to hone in on an archetype here to kind of ground that reading, ground that energy. Rhonda, I know you're tuning in. Thank you again for this little deck. I reach for it so much more often than my big archetype cards. You're such a gem. Thank you. To everyone who has sent gifts and love my way, I love you guys all so much. I get a lot of important downloads from some of the newer decks I've received, actually, like that Blue Cat Tarot, this little mini deck. I just used yesterday a deck that Michelle gifted our channel, and I don't even think I mentioned it to you guys. Where is that deck? This deck is newly added to our collection from Michelle, so thank you, Michelle. Same with the Masonic Tarot from Natalie and Kylie. I thought about using it today, but I didn't want to influence that energy. We'll use it in our next reading. All right, Debbie with the Blue Cats Tarot. You guys are just so amazing. My all-time favorite gifted deck from Cindy, the Mermaid Tarot. I was actually talking with Cindy. I don't remember if it was through email or in the comments, but I was saying how I have so many decks that I just don't resonate with anymore. And I just have so many. I want to kind of clean up my collection. There's no point in having over 100 decks just for the sake of having them. I've kind of outgrown some of them, and the general vibe of the channel is a lot different now than when I started purchasing decks. So I thought about doing, like, I don't know, I want to give them away. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a poll on how many of you would be interested in receiving gently used decks from the channel, and maybe I'll throw a few of them together and start shipping them out to you guys, and then put a couple decks on a wish list, and then I don't know, like maybe every time a wish list deck is purchased, I'll ship out 3 used decks, because I really want to downsize. So maybe 3 decks will go when one new one comes in, and then as I work with decks and get the tools that I feel like fit the style here and hone in on that, get rid of some of the other ones, it'll feel better. Right now I just have so many that I just don't use or don't want to keep around, and they're just taking up space, and it's just unnecessary. So I don't know how you guys feel about recycling the decks within the hive. If you guys are interested in that, yeah, let me know. I'll do a poll to see if that's something you guys find interest in. All right, Spirit, can I get an archetype for the world? The Healer. The 3-headed snake, the 3 stars on top. This is card 25. So we have 25 to 29, which would be Trump's presidency, right? The Healer. The healer of the world. So we have spiritual guidance, protection from harm, 3 stars at the top, 3-headed snake, the healer of the world, the 4 of Pentacles with career. Not seeing anything alarming yet about their union, so just wanted to mention that for the first opening oracle cards. It actually feels pretty good. The Lightworker, the Gifted, the Old Soul. Amazing. Feels heavily like Candace energy to me. We don't know her husband, but if she's spiritually guided and protected from harm, I don't think that God would allow somebody that close to her, that shares children with her and a home with her, to be in the dark. Even if that was, like, I don't know, maybe it was the original intention and maybe he switched up. I mean, I don't know the history there, but in terms of the energy I'm seeing today, it looks like she's divinely guided, protected, and gifted. This literally says the light worker, the gifted, the old soul, the healer, the world, the influence, and her career, where she sits behind a desk and has global influence. This is interesting. Self-contained, awake. The image of the serpent is eternally tied to healing and medicine, both Western and Eastern. The wounded healer is not someone who was wounded and is now healed. It is someone who continues to courageously break open the self and ego as a means for deeper integration. Though some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone. It is our natural inclination to remember and return to and to reclaim that central and eternal life force from which we so easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. Suffering and disease. Forgetting. The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that already exists. The healer approaches this in multiple ways, from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros. Look at all the circles here. We have the circle here, the circle here, the circle here, the circle here, and then the 3 circle cards with the 3 square cards, and we have the triangle and the square with the circle in the middle. The healer approaches this in multiple ways from multiple angles. That is another thing Candace does, is she brings a lot of things to the table with that 7 of Cups. Like, people are like, oh, first it was this and now it's this. Like, how many theories are we up to now? It's like, you guys, some people can be so ignorant. Like, the fact that she's investigating this, of course multiple theories are going to come up. It doesn't mean that that's what happened to Charlie. It means in looking into what happened to Charlie, multiple other secrets are being revealed. Could have nothing to do with his death, but the fact that somebody's looking into it, is shedding light on it, doesn't mean it's all connected. Could it be? Yes. Could looking into something reveal something you weren't intending to find? Also yes. So the fact that I see comments on like Facebook and other people's channels of like, oh, first it's TPUSA, then it's a friend, and then it's Egypt, and now it's France, and like, how many more can it be? It's like, no, she's not saying all of these people did it. She's not saying that this means this, but she's saying, when looking, I found this. And yeah, she is finding a lot of crazy shit. And people can just be so asleep. Half the world is definitely sleeping, and it's kind of scary to see people's reactions to things. Like she said, why isn't TPUSA more concerned about the Egyptian plains if they don't really know what that is about? Like, why aren't they like, wow, instead of like blowing it off like she's batshit crazy and stupid, why aren't they like, what the hell is this about? Unless they know what it's about. And then, like she's saying, if they know what it's about, then just say, well, we're not worried about this, and you're not crazy, you did find a connection, it's nothing that the world, knows about, but this is who we know there, this is why they were here. It would be so much easier to do that than be like, you're insane, you're batshit crazy, the planes are like irrelevant. Like, Why not just say why they're following her? They clearly have a connection to Erica. Like, what is the point in lying? We should all be asking questions. You should all be concerned. All right, Holy Spirit, show me George Farmer and his energetic connection to clearly what you're showing us about Candace's influence. How does George Farmer come into this? The Nine of Swords. Look at these soldiers slaying the dragon. That's a battle. Somebody worried about war. Somebody thinking about slaying a dragon. Given what we've already read in the energy on the table, it looks like fear and anxiety over war and resources. 6 of Pentacles here at the bottom. War and resources. Tell me more about George Farmer. 8 of Pentacles. Does he have any sort of connections to military? Like something he did for a living had something to do with war or militaries? The World right here underneath the World. Wow. And then this is the dragon's eye. Here we're slaying the dragon. Here we're talking about the world, the universe, fear, anxiety. Is he worried about? Is he worried about what she does for a living? Like worried about, is he worried about her? Oh wow. He's worried that her career is going to be the death of her. This to me looks like a husband who's worried that her influence on the world stage, that they're not going to be able to slay the dragon. Like, this is his fear for her. Whoa. He wouldn't be fearing that if he was a part of taking her down. I know that goes against popular belief. The Nine of Cups and Ace of Wands. This to me shows true admiration for somebody. 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment. This is passion. He sees her as like his angel. And he's afraid for her life because of what she's doing and how it's going to affect the world. And as I was saying, this goes against popular belief. I know some of you, the 4 of Wands, look at that. The marriage, the happiness, the wish fulfillment, the passion. This looks like a marriage built on love and passion and fear for her. Wow. Holy cow. So the whole bottom of this deck just has a whole nother story. So I'm going to show it to you guys the way I see it. Of course, we just seen these three, right? So we'll put these over here. But then we have the Star, the Three of Swords. We have the 3 stars up here. We have the High Priestess, Secrets, the Queen of Wands, the Information, another 3, the same 3 cups, the Sun. So if you read it with the 4 of Swords, so then if you read it from the 4 of Swords going towards the Star, it's like sitting on information that will reveal something to the world, will shine light on something you're currently sleeping on, about 3 people, 3 countries, 3 alliances, 3 powerful people. You are now not sleeping on that information. You still hold the information. You're speaking about it confidently, revealing secrets. And then we have 3 of Swords, which is, I think, the consequence of speaking about what you've been sleeping on. But like with the Star here, it's giving me more so like, well, this is healing the world. The Star is a card of healing. So it's like secrets coming out that cause harm, but then healing comes. But also talking about like the Star in terms of like an influencer, the career, the views, like influencer type of star. All of that is like saying, bringing things to light, secrets coming to light. It's going to cause devastation and then healing. Importance on the number 3 in terms of what's being revealed. I'm really happy to see this concern for her though coming up here, and then around this marriage card, 9 of Cups and Ace of Wands. That's really good energy to see, considering people think he's a plant. I know some of you commented about Alicia Wicker and how she thinks he's the mole. I think somebody else mentioned the Reckoning Co. I haven't watched their videos in a while. I did watch part of one of Alicia's videos, maybe about Erica. I don't know. This goes against popular belief, so I don't know what you guys are thinking about George and what you've seen, but 3 of Wands. And there's those 3 ships from overseas and movement. I feel like he is worried about whatever she knows about 3 key pieces of evidence, 3 companies, 3 leaders, 3 countries, 3 something. She knows something about 3. She's using her platform to speak on these things, and he's terrified about these 3. I'm going to call them foreigners, foreign people, because they're coming in on ships. And it's like he's watching them move closer, and he's scared for her life. Bottom of the deck, the Hierophant, Knight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Wands, Ace of Cups. Yeah, all of this is really good. Like calling in help. Calling in help. Like he has somebody at the top of a pyramid, somebody of importance that he can call in for help. The Knight of Cups, the Knight in shining armor, the Wheel of Fortune that can change the fates. It's like he has a favorite to call in. And I think the reason why maybe he hasn't stopped her from talking, or this hasn't gone to a point where he's so worried about her that they've decided to go quiet for a while, because he unless this is literally God. The Hierophant also does talk about like Father God. This could be something like a pope. Somebody who you could, it's like a direct line if you were truly in danger. It's like use this number only when you truly need it, but they have this line, and which is why he is worried about her. But either literally they have a direct line to God, which sounds very weird, or this. They have access to a higher being, or literally just somebody with enough influence that they're worried. But in terms of George, he feels safe enough because of this, whatever this is. Interesting. Three of Wands, again, just fell out of this deck. Let's get more information on George. Tell me more about George Farmer. Again with the woman in the world, the universe, the globe. Yeah, look at where this, her career, her job, the career, the table, with his anxiety here. It's the eyes around the world that are watching her that causes him fear for her. All of these eyes around the world. All eyes on her. The world is literally at the bottom. This is massive energy, guys. I feel like they have a much greater soul contract. Much greater soul contract than a handler type of situation. This feels very spiritual, feels very divinely protected. I don't think George would be the mole in her house that would lead her to her death. I don't feel it. I don't see it. Four of Swords. The threat is all eyes on her with the world and the death card. It's like to silence her. But this is not like, this is a death card. This is a timeout. This is illness. This is rest. This is also a card for planning. Planning. I do feel the threat on her life is real. I think it's very real, and George is very aware of it. Candace is very aware of it. The world is watching, but the threat still exists. I think there's people wicked enough and mad enough about what she's saying that they wouldn't even care if the world's seen and blame them to cause some sort of silencing of her. When you're divinely protected, though, and sent here for a purpose, Charlie's mission could have been exactly what it was, and his contract was for him to die that day. I don't feel that's the same for Candace. Unfortunately for them. Knight of Pentacles, and then again with illness, and then the crops. So there's a plan in place around illness and crops. Food. Maybe be careful the food that they eat. They could try to get to her through food. Queen of Swords. Oh, wow. Well, this is the first time I've seen something I don't necessarily like. And I don't know what it means. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is here. This Four of Pentacles with the career and the table here. With this Four of Pentacles, it's like being chained to your table. But again, every time these energies come out, especially with this Four of Swords, this Knight of Pentacles, when this is giving me like food, crop, and illness, this gives me like shelter in place. Like you can't move, you're stuck at home. The ball and chain, like you're prevented from being able to move or to get resources, or it's like the whole COVID thing again with the masks. But this feels like something else. But then, okay, after that, the same energy here with the Eight of Swords is being stuck somewhere, planted in place, not able to move, not free to move, trapped. And then Nine of Wands is trapped and injured. So you're either sick, you're stuck, you can't move, and you're hurt, needing help, medicine, resources, food. You're like handicapped in a way, handicapped and stuck. You're not just like shelter in place, nobody leave your house for a week. This is like you're injured and also can't leave. And then the Seven of Cups is here again. The Seven of Cups is there. So now we have, whoa, okay, so this Seven of Cups is here. It's there. This Four of Pentacles is here. It's there. The two cards in the middle is the World and the Healer. Here we have trapped and injured. So needing healing, stuck. Something about the World being stuck and injured, needing healing. A Seven of Cups and a Four of Pentacles. Bookending that. Like not having what you need. This is like all the things that you need. Food, money, shelter, hope, healing. And then these two, Ace of Cups and Two of Cups. It's like if this is the state of the world, you have two people coming together to bring healing to the world. It's like that energy of a divine union. Could this be Candace and George? I'm gonna get two more. Let's get three more. Can I get three more cards? And three just, oh my gosh, three just flipped out, and now we have death here at the bottom. Let's see. The Emperor, Ace of Wands, and the Sun. If this is George's energy, along with this being George's energy and this being Candace's energy, this is not dark to me. This is showing a lot of love for her. It's also showing me here that while the world is watching her, he's choosing to stay silent and let her do what he knows she's called to do. But I feel like he's on guard, he's watching. Like he's covered in the armor of God. He's staying silent and letting her do all the talking. But he's on his horse, watching. He's worried for her. I mean, he loves her. But I feel like at the same time, they know that this is the underlying energy, again, from Oof. From powerful people with the 10 of Pentacles from overseas. This is the overseas card. Powerful people overseas who want her dead. He knows that that's a legit threat. He is afraid for it, but he's choosing to stand beside his wife and keep his mouth shut and let her do what he knows she's called to do, what she's passionate about, the hill that she's willing to die on. He's willing to stand next to her as her knight in shining armor, but believe he's armored. He has something. He's like on guard with his armor. He has access to something that he feels could keep things at bay long enough to let her speak. At least for now, that's the energy. I don't feel he's against her. I don't feel she's working for the dark, as if maybe they're not against each other and she's also on the dark with him and this is all a show for us. I don't feel it. I feel that for the first time in all the evilness that we've seen happening around the world, that we're finally seeing a big, powerful angel from God protecting someone who is trying to shed light on things, to awaken the world. And the enemy's whole plan would be to make that seem dark, to make that seem opposite. I also can't say that at one point Candace wasn't ever misinformed or misled. Same with Charlie. I don't know that he ever wasn't subscribing to something and then changed his mind, or wasn't aware of what he was subscribing to and then wanted out. I don't know if Candace was able to make it out and then changed. I don't know what the history there looks like in terms of where she sits right now, what she's speaking on. It feels at least like God is behind it for whatever reason, and it's protected. I see her and her husband are on the same team. Whichever team that ends up being, I see it in a divine light as of today. A lot of significance around the 3. Yesterday was 7. Now we have the 7 with the 3 on top. The 3 on top of the world. The big 3. Let's clarify, shall we? We will wrap this up here soon. If you guys want a part 2 to this or want me to dig deeper in anything, like I said, I don't have a lot of context on where he came from, what his story is, what his family looks like. So I'm kind of glad that I read this first, and then I will do some research on George myself. You guys are happy. Sorry, I was distracted by this bull. Not happy. You guys are welcome to share your thoughts on things you know about him or his family or his genealogy, his background, whatever you know about him, even your own, what your own gut tells you, not what Alicia Wicker tells you, not what Dee Dee Podcast told you, not what Candace tells you. What do you feel about him, their marriage? Like, it's important not to form a solid opinion based on any one reader, but to listen to a reader. And if your intuition and your heart aligns with that, then that's different. That's okay to agree with them, but don't listen to them and say, well, she said this, so she must be right. This is what I subscribe to because she said it. And you don't actually stop to ask yourself, I'm hearing this. Do I agree? Just close your eyes and feel it. That's so important. Don't just, even for myself, don't just watch this and say, oh, I'm not intuitive. I don't have any idea, but Dee from Beyond the Veil says this, so I'm just going to subscribe to that. And I believe that he's an angel sent to help her on her soul's mission. No, take what I say, close your eyes, let it sink in, watch, listen, learn, research, and then decide for yourself. If you decide for yourself and you agree that that feels right with you and not just believe me, then good. I'm glad. I'm happy to hear it. But always check in with yourself. Don't ever blindly follow anybody based on a reading, based on you like them as a person, based on you like their channel, based on they've been right in the past. That doesn't mean anything. We can get it right, we can get it wrong. And again, I'm speaking for myself here also, guys. I could be spot on with certain things and completely off base on the next case I do or the next reading I do. So best thing you can do for honoring yourself. Yes, checking in with your own intuition. Again, the number 7. So, you guys are happy to share. Why do I keep saying you guys are happy to share? You guys are welcome to share. I don't know what that means. And it's every time I'm looking down here at this bowl, I'm thinking you guys are happy to share. Happy to share the bowl. What does that mean? We just had... is a bull a male cow? Is that beef? Is that all beef? Are we going back to beef? With the farming, the food? Happy to share food. Don't share food. What is this? Where were we getting bull before? Was that in one of the prophecy readings where the bull was coming through? And I'm like, wow, how dumb. I didn't even know like a male cow was a bull. Something about that's important because I keep getting tripped up on my words when I look down at this bull right here. Spirit, can you clarify the angel card? Show me angel. The coin. Protection from harm. Again with the coin, and then we have eye at the bottom. Ooh, the snake and flower. Snake and flower, that's giving me like protection from harm is paid protection. Like surveillance. But then with the snake and the flower, that's giving me like an operation, like people who are paid to protect her, they're calling it something like what are those operations where they like keep a subject safe, or like it's like they give their subject a name. It's paid intelligence, it's paid security, it's paid protection. They're protecting the flower from the snake, and there's like a code name for her. Like when, is it like Secret Service who gives code names to like presidents? Is that a thing? Why do I feel like I've seen that in movies where they call presidents like a code name, or like their kids, if they're protecting the kids and they're talking about them over radios or something, like they have nicknames? Why is that coming through? Okay, so there's intelligence agencies or somebody protecting, watching over Candace, where it would be like that, where they have a name for her. They have a, oh, that's interesting. What is that about? Is this part of people George knows, or people he can call in? The book just flipped out. We're not taking it, but can you clarify the 7 of Cups with the 3 stars? Acorn? Coinacorn? Coinacorn. Acorn. I'm getting ready to clarify the world and the healer, and I'm seeing the dragon in the comet. This is slaying this dragon, and this is destruction. Acorn's giving me like something falling out of the sky and hitting somebody in the head. Maybe like a falling comet. Ooh, with the storm and the axe. That's feeling natural disaster-ish. Clarify the world with the healer. The mushroom, the acorn, the mushroom, food. Food from the trees and food from the ground. That's a swan on the water. That reminds me of my black swan prophecy, but that's a white swan. Show me 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Show me. Oh, shoot. Okay, so that's the heart is on the ground. I can see it. That's card 11. Looks like card 11 with heart. We'll grab another one. Heart and dagger. Heart and okay, heart's on the floor. Dagger is here. Heart and dagger. Show me career. This didn't flip out. It flipped over, so we'll make note of it, but I'm not going to take it. That was cauldron, diamond, show me career, factory, 7. Very first card out was a 7. The 43 and 34 were the first cards out yesterday. So again with the 7 and factory 7. Factory. So again, talking about like work. You work in a factory. This is career. This is card 7. I know this is crazy, guys, but timing is here at the bottom. And if you're looking at this in a timing way, 2019, we have the 8s here. So like August of 2019 being important in terms of career. But then we have the 8, 6, the 5, the only thing and the 7. So we're picking up on dates 5, 6, and 7. For Charlie, that goes back to Marilyn Monroe, Martha Noland, the meeting in the Hamptons, the interview with Megyn Kelly, and then something referencing the same time frame, August 5th, 6th, 7th of 2019 being significant. The 7th, here we have 8, 7, 19. So timing, August 2019, and then just the dates of August are important. We have bees and the skull, bees and death. Oh, worker bees, like work, the factory work, the death to her, the death to something that happened in work in August of 2019. Whether this is significant for George, Charlie, or Candace, there's something about the ending to somebody's work. And the dates here might mean something. Career, factory, worker bee, and then we have death, the dagger in the heart. Something about August of 2019 seems significant. Wait, did she get married in August 2019? Hang on. I thought she had a winter wedding. When did Candace marry George? Holy shit. Candace Owens married George Farmer in August of 2019. August of 2019. Then we have factory work. Did he stop working in August of 2019, or did he? Dagger in the heart, the mushroom, the acorn, the coin. Factory. So it says here in short, in August 2019, George Farmer was best described as a British businessman, entrepreneur, and political activist involved with Turning Point UK, not yet CEO of Parler. He took that role in 2021. So when did he leave Turning Point UK? Well, that's interesting. It says when George Farmer became chairman of Turning Point UK when it launched in February 2019, he then stepped down from that role in April of 2019. So 3 months max he spent as chairman of Turning Point UK. Why? So he must have just met Candace and then stepped down? That doesn't sound right. After his departure, the group continued under different leadership. I wonder who took over in August. Sources do not provide a clear, well-documented statement from Farmer explaining the reason for his stepping down. The most authoritative source simply note that he was chairman until April without elaboration. While some commentators and critics argue that the negative reception, reputational risk, or internal pressure likely contributed to his departure, that remains speculative. None of the publicly available sources confirm that as a reason. Given the timing, stepping down just a few months after the very rocky launch of TP UK, which was met with intense media and public criticism, many observers infer that the criticism and reputational pressures may have played a role. But because there's no public statement from Farmer or the group confirming that, the true reason remains undetermined in public records. If you like, I can dig through archived news coverage. Oh, when did Candace leave Turning Point? Didn't she leave in April 2019? Did she share something with him and they both stepped away from what was happening in Turning Point? When did Candace leave Turning Point? I believe it was April of 2019. May 1st. She announced her departure via Instagram in May 2019. Wow. Okay, so they both walked away from Turning Point at the same time. And Turning Point clearly is tied to scandals, fraud, weird shit with money. Charlie's being assassinated. Erica Kirk is planted. We have TP Action, TP Faith stepping on the scene, all right after Candace and George meet. Both of them step away from Turning Point at the same time. And then there's a heavy emphasis on something that takes place within Turning Point in Charlie's life in August of 2019. Just a few months after they both step away. That's fascinating. Just for good measure, I'm going to do a last final 5 cards about why both of them were stepped away, asked to leave, whatever the case may be. maybe whatever was going on with Candace, they could, if they knew they were dating or meeting or whatever, they couldn't have either of them associated. Why did George and Candace both step away from Turning Point at the same time in 2019? They were married in August. Why am I seeing this now as like protection? What did Candace find out in 2019? Seven of Cups is back out here. With the Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles. What did Candace know in 2019? What did they think she knew? Or what were they afraid of her finding out? Because it sounds like she knew something. She met George. Maybe he told her something or she told him something. They both stepped away and then they were married in August when I feel like something significant happened, probably to solidify their union or their ability to protect each other. Timing is not a coincidence here. Can I get energy around why they left Turning Point and then were married? Eight, nine, Strength card, Nine of Cups. Justice. I don't know how this ties into why they left in 2019, but what I can see in the mirror is the Six of Pentacles here. Under that is the King of Cups, and then when I pick up the top card, it's the Sun. Everything I see about George is good. It's like he shows up in love, happy, sees her as wish fulfillment, passionately attracted to her. Justice could be a card of marriage. This is her young, single, successful, attractive, doing fine on her own. She's strong, she's beautiful, she's smart, and he's wowed by her. He's happy with her, he's attracted to her, he loves her. And then he wants to support her, he wants to protect her, he wants to give to her, he wants to let her do what makes her happy. This is him like fully supporting her in everything she does because of how much love that he has for her. Look at this. So under that, so this is how it was, okay. Then we have the Five of Cups. Like he doesn't want to lose her. He's fighting and protecting her. He left Turning Point so that he didn't lose Candace. Because he's helping to protect her here. Because look, now we have the Queen of Cups showing up. With protecting and defending, not wanting to lose the Queen of Cups. Because he's the King of Cups, so he's going to support her. They both left Turning Point. The Sun. The Heart and the Dagger. That Four of Pentacles. Let's look at these 5 cards. We know the Coin. The Acorn says future potential, growth, possibilities, good luck. growth and possibilities, like the Seven of Cups, like having many options. Growth and potential. So much growth and potential here with her platform, possibly. Her influence over the world. It's good luck. Future potential. The Seven of Cups. And in the world with the healer and the mushroom. Oh. Taking a risk. Doubt. Poor decisions. Failure. A growing problem. Oh. Is her influence over the world the possibilities of what could come from all eyes on her on this platform? Is that a growing problem for somebody globally? It's becoming a problem for somebody, her influence. A growing problem. Yeah, with the heart and the dagger. The Four of Pentacles. The heart, strong emotions, affection, love, and compassion. With deceit and betrayal. Love, compassion, deceit, and betrayal. But the Four of Pentacles, the career, the factory, the worker bee, that all tells me work related. Factory is hard work, with career, the worker bee, the death, the dagger in the heart is trying to stop her, to get her off this platform. Again, the threat is very real. The threat is very real. I feel like, to sum this up, the threat on her life is real. This is not propaganda. This is not a lie to gain followers, sympathy, support, views, money. Doesn't feel like that. It feels like a legit threat on her life. It's a growing problem for important people in the world, her influence and what she's speaking about. I believe her and George are on the same team. You guys have to decide what team that's on, light or dark, because everything around Charlie is a light or dark situation. Always use your discernment. They're on the same team, whatever team that is. He's not the mole. He's not going to betray her. They left Turning Point at the same time. They married in August. Something in August significantly happened around work. Their marriage had something to do with protection, either his ability to protect her or to keep something safe. I don't know really why that would be. "2019 was a turning point. For Candace, for Charlie, for the world. I don't feel like George Farmer is going to turn on Candace or have her killed. I think he is in love with her. He's in love with her mind. He thinks she's so beautiful. He's very attracted to her. He wants to support her, protect her. He's worried about her, but he won't stop her. He won't stop her from speaking, but he knows the threats are real. And I feel like he's pulling on every possible person that he can to keep her protected. I feel like there's a lot of money that they have invested into protecting her with very wealthy people. I also believe there's some sort of important favor or phone number that George has access to also help protect Candace. And I also feel that there's spiritual protection around Candace. Like this type of spiritual protection you can't buy. I feel like they've spent the money where they could to protect her, They have friends in high places, and then also what friends and earthly people and money can't do, there's divine protection here as well. She is a growing problem, and there is going to be a lot of things coming to light around her and her influence, but just to again reiterate, I don't believe George is a mole or that she has to worry about her life the way Charlie did when he laid his head down at night. I don't think he had this same peace in his life, in his home, in his marriage. I'm sure their marriage isn't perfect, but I think there's a bigger purpose why their souls came together and what their contract is in this life. And I think the world is going to get to see it. We're going to get to see it unfold in whatever that looks like for her. I hope this brought some peace of mind to some of you guys who maybe had questioned him or her safety around him. I don't see it. I'm gonna get a final oracle card to wrap this up. If you guys haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, drop a comment. All those things definitely help the visibility of this video, which in turn helps the channel. So thank you guys for all the ways you already engage and support the channel. I love you guys greatly. So another archangel came out. Card 19 is back at the bottom. So we have Archangel Ariel. And 23 says all tied up. So we had Archangel Michael with the world. And then we had the ball and chain and the 8 of swords, which felt like being tied up, restricted, blocked, stopped, like shelter in place type of energy again, all tied up with another archangel, the world tied up. Let's read these and then we will close it out today. So Archangel Ariel is the angel for intimacy and creativity. The second chakra vibrates in the energy of the beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects that may have a more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affection and camaraderie of resonant souls around you. Again, I feel like just again from Spirit reiterating and confirming what we read on George, saying this is a place where you can open up and feel safe in this marriage. You can be vulnerable and emotionally intimate and to receive that affection from the resonant souls around you. She's in good company with him, I feel. And then all tied up, let's see. The lack of motion or sense of personal freedom. This card shows a woman tied up with vines around her wrists, body, and arms. Receiving this card upright represents a situation in your life where things seem to be stuck. A major drama may be going on around you, stopping you from moving forward. Or it may be that some technicalities are blocking your way. Perhaps you're waiting for a contract to be signed or an agreement to be made. Whatever is holding things up, the restrictions may be feeling quite oppressive at this time. If this isn't technically the case for you, what's tying you up is your own personal stuff. Look at your life and see how you can be your own jailer. Are you tying yourself up in some emotional angst or in a negative habit that you refuse to deal with? If so, it's time to cut the vines and make some serious changes. You needn't live in your self-imposed jail any longer. That's feeling more like if they can't stop her, if they can't kill her, they can't get to her husband, her food, her kids, her whatever. It's the energy of, like she says, being tied up in legal battles, gag orders, lawsuits, contracts. It's like being tied up in that way. But then with all of the archangels and the things that are going on a global scale, it's like she's still protected. They might even threaten her with jail. Like if she doesn't stop talking about things, they might actually try to make a example out of her by like actually arresting her. Like Candace Owens was arrested because she wouldn't follow the gag order, or she did something illegal. Like it might be something like that, to where if they can't get to her or affect her influence, they can try to like restrict her movement. Could be something like that. But then again, with the Hierophant, the two archangels that were at the bottom, the angel that came in right next to this attempt to tie her up in some way is saying that she's still divinely protected. Not to worry about all the threats, the daggers, the death, the restrictions, all of the things that could be coming against her. It's like there's still such... We have an angel here too, guys. There's so much divine protection around her. It's insane. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will try to be back tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.